Hey guys, we just got back from the Festival of the Arts at Epcot at Walt Disney World, and we wanted to share with you our opinion about the festival. This is not to be for anyone else. Other people may feel totally different, so these are just our opinions on our experience. And so I wanted to start with just a little overview of the festival. If you haven't heard about it, it is a festival at Epcot. It's in most of January and February. This year, this is 2018, it ran from January 12th to February 19th, or it's still running through February 19th. So it's a really short festival. It's just a little
every
over a
day
month.
this year.
And it is every day this year. Last year, which was the first year of the festival, it was only on weekend, long weekends. Now it's every day, so that's nice. So it's basically a festival at Epcot celebrating the arts. So there's all kinds of arts. There's food arts, there's Broadway singers from Disney musicals singing in the theater there, there's live painters, there's living statues, which are people dressed up, posing as statues.
Tons of art everywhere.
Art everywhere. There's art to look at. There is art classes.
Art to take your photo in.
Art to step into, and I'll actually put some of those up right here, some of our art photos while we're talking. But there's just so much to do. In fact, that's another thing I'm going to say. I think the fact we were only there for one full day actually affects our opinion of the festival, because there were a lot of things I didn't get to experience that I wanted to do, and so that changes your opinion, I think, of it. As opposed to if we'd had a few days, I think I would have been able to get those things in. So let's talk about the positives for us first. You want to start?
I think the highlight for me was actually what I mentioned, is getting our picture taken and, in the art pieces, the masterpieces, really.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
that was really cool. Yeah, they had like Mona Lisa and the Scream. And
the lines were really short or non-existent.
Non-existent, and that shocked me. Yeah. I was surprised. I guess that's just not popular, but I thought it was awesome. Yeah, that was really cool. Anything else you want to talk about?
I think that was it for me. I mean, because I only tried, we'll probably get to it, 2 food items.
Food's at the bottom. Yeah, we'll get to the food. So let's talk about the other things that I liked, which was a lot. I actually liked the mural painting. I'll try to put some footage up here.
That was cool.
That was so cool. And we looked out when they were painting the mural the week I was there. It was the monorail, which is really cool. And they gave me a postcard for free of the mural, so I will put a picture of that up here as well. It was really neat. It was just a cool experience. So they basically give you paint and a brush, and it's a little foam brush, and they give you a number, and you paint a few of the squares. So it's like paint by number, but on a giant scale, like a giant scale. So that was really a neat thing. And then they keep rotating it. They keep putting different ones out. As one finishes, they put a new one out. So that was really, really cool. Also, I didn't get to actually do it, but I would have liked, if I had had time, the free animation class. If you remember back at Hollywood Studios, they used to have a free class where you go in and they would teach you to draw a Disney character. Well, they have that for free at this festival. So they also had paid art classes as well. And
they were packed.
They were packed. And the paid ones were in the Odyssey building. The free one, I'm not sure where it was located since I didn't do it, but I think it might be in a different building, but I'm not sure, because I think everything in the Odyssey was charged for upcharge. So let's see. And then I mentioned the Broadway stars singing. We didn't actually sit through one of the shows because, again, we were pushed for time, but we could hear them in the distance, and they sounded fantastic. I mean, that's really cool, like to get to hear singers from, say, The Little Mermaid or The Lion King for the Broadway musicals. I mean, that's really neat, I think. And there's no upcharge for that.
Nope.
So let's see. What else? We didn't get to see these, which makes me sad. We saw them setting up for them, but the living statues, I think, is cool too, even though we didn't get to see it.
We didn't even see it on the way out.
They must have been on break, because they would have to take breaks. But if you've never seen this before, it's where people are painted usually a solid color from head to toe, and then they can hold very, very still and look like a statue. I think that's a neat, and those were right in front of the fountain at Epcot, sort of on the back side of the fountain.
Yep.
Brian already mentioned the paintings for the photo ops. That was a highlight for me, too.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was really cool. And then the other thing I enjoyed was just all the art displays.
There was tons of art kiosks where you can purchase art.
Just almost overwhelming. And I did purchase a painting. Unfortunately, I don't have it yet, so I can't show it. But I'll try to put a picture of it up here. I don't have an actual painting yet because they're shipping it. But I will put a photo up of that while we're talking. So you want to go on to the dislikes or the disappointments?
Sure.
So we can both talk about this. Let's talk about the crowds first. This is no one's fault. It was a Saturday, and I didn't think January was supposed to be this crowded, but it was packed. We were there on January 27th.
Yep.
And just to give you which weekend it was, and it was packed. I mean, it was packed. In the morning, it was great. We were walking on rides, and we're like, this is awesome. It's not crowded.
Well, the meet and greets that we got that morning.
Yeah, so we walked right into some meet and greets with, like, Mickey with no line, and so we were like, this is great. And then by, like, mid-afternoon, would you say, is when it really got crazy? The lines for the food for the festival were huge in places. It wasn't everywhere, but in certain places they were really, really long.
Like America's, it was really, really long. So we got in line and we're like, no, let's
we ended
just
up
get out.
skipping it because it was so long.
But then the next kiosk was actually I think there's Italy. Is it Italy? I don't know. But we hit Germany. In Germany, there's no line, like no one there.
Yep. So it was hit or miss, but it was sporadically as crowded as Food and Wine on a Saturday.
Right, but even at the permanent locations, you know, the kiosks, the food stands and whatnot, it was crazy.
Yep.
The lines were just insane.
The German quick service was huge.
Yeah, I've never seen it
huge
so bad.
line. So then the other disappointment for both of us was the food. I'll start and then you can finish. I was disappointed to start with, and I knew this before I went. They only had 4 gluten-free items, and don't get me wrong, I appreciate that they have anything, so I don't want you to take that the wrong way. I'm very grateful, but there are other food festivals have plenty for me to choose from, and so that was kind of surprising to me.
Well, so few kiosks, food kiosks.
I guess that's what it is. It's just proportionally smaller. And then I tried only one item. Is that right, from the festival? I believe so. Just the chicken. I think that's the only thing I tried.
You really liked it.
No, I wouldn't say I really liked it. I liked it. It was unusual. That's the way I would phrase it. It had unusual flavor combinations. This happened to be chicken with cheese and beet sauce and blueberry and beet cream with edible flour. So
it did look nice.
It looked neat.
Even from a vegetarian, it looked
nice. And
it
didn't taste bad. It just was unusual flavor combinations. And it was a little too sweet for my taste because of the beets and the blueberries. I prefer more savory, and this was more on the sweet side for chicken. And then I think that was the only thing I got because I wanted to get the scallops in America, but that was the line we skipped because it was crazy long.
So I had the shrimp ceviche, and it
frozen.
Yeah, it was the shrimp was a frozen clump in the middle of a little cup.
Like shrimp actually stuck together frozen.
Yeah, it was like you actually could bring out a bowl of shrimp.
Big blob.
So that was kind of weird, and it was kind of weird. How did they ceviche that?
Yeah, because ceviche is where it's supposed to be raw shrimp that is, quote, cooked, not really cooked, but in lemon juice or some citrus.
So obviously that was pre-cooked shrimp.
Maybe, we hope.
It had to be, frozen, and they just tossed it in. I just didn't like the taste anyway.
Well, and that's the other thing. They put this unappetizing looking mint foam on top, and it looked like suds out of your dish, out of your sink when you're washing dishes.
I mean, I would have taken it back to, get another one, but I just didn't like it.
Yeah, so he didn't even want another one, so he ended up just tossing it.
Second food item I had was the flatbread in, was it Morocco, right? Mm-hmm. That was really good. I liked that.
That looked good.
The serving size on that was really good. It was almost a full-size flatbread. And it was, I think, $8, something like that.
And that's the other thing I should mention. Honestly, I can't compare it to Flower and Garden or Food and Wine prices because I don't have all of them in front of me right now, but the prices seemed high to me.
I would have tried more food, but I went up and saw the price. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to pay that much.
The portion sizes were tiny, except for the flatbread.
$12 for something. I was like, no.
Yeah, the prices were high, and the portion sizes were tiny except for your flatbread for most things. It's very small. Like the chicken I got, those tiny amount of food on the plate, you know, for the price. And so for us, the value wasn't there either, compared to other food festivals, because you can't help but compare it. And then you also had the popcorn beer flight. That's technically at least half food. And he said all the popcorn was stale, so he ended up throwing all of it away, which is a shame.
So I think it's the same popcorn they sell out at Live in the Land.
Yeah, or Future
kiosk.
World, over towards the Land,
Yeah, the popcorn, it was just, I don't know, it didn't taste good to me. It was kind of stale, so I just threw it away.
That's a shame. Yeah, so you had 2 tosses, where you just threw it away.
Yeah.
But the one thing I wanted to say, it goes back to us only being there for one day, because there's been days at Food and Wine where I could have almost said the same things, meaning I got food that wasn't up to my expectations for whatever reason. It sat under the warmer too long or whatever, something was wrong with it. And then you go back the next day and everything's fantastic. And so I'm not saying that you'll have a bad experience with the food, and I'm not trying to talk anyone out of going to this festival. I think it's a neat festival. We just want to mention our experience. And I think we were both disappointed with the quality of the food that we had, as well as the price, like the value for the size versus the price. Is that fair?
I would say that's fair. I mean, the free stuff that you get from the festival, you know, just all the stuff you can do for free was awesome.
Like that was, and I feel like that is actually better than the other festivals, meaning there's more free events and things to take in than, you know, because there's also live artist painting. We didn't actually happen to see any, and I don't know why, because I think they're supposed to be scattered all over, but they actually we didn't see any. And then the normal character meet and greets have a painting of that character with them, which is kind of neat. So it mixes up the meet and greets. These are the ones out around World Showcase, not the ones in Future World. But so, a lot going on. So for us, I think we've decided it's unlikely we'll go back to this festival.
Probably one and done. For us.
And it's not because we hate the festival or anything. It's just not the best time of the year for us to take vacation, for one thing. Like, this is not my favorite time of the year to take time off, which is why we did the weekend trip. And then there wasn't anything there that was so compelling that I feel like I have to go back. Whereas for Flower and Garden, I want to go there every year, you know, for Flower and Garden. So it's just a different feeling for me.
Yeah.
How about you?
I would agree. Maybe the weather too. I mean, we lucked out on good weather.
We had amazing weather,
you know,
but
during
it could
that time
cold.
period, it can be really cold. So, Flower and Garden is usually always really nice, you know, and of course the Food and Wine is warm, you know. So I think that played into it.
That's true. That's a good point, because we just lucked out. Yep. All right. Well, if you have been to the Festival of the Arts and you had either a different experience from us, or you want to contribute anything else, please leave it in the comments below, because it'll help viewers who are watching. Because like I said, we only had one day. So I know there's a lot we missed, and I know, you know, we might have had a different experience if we've been there for a few days. So we always appreciate you leaving your thoughts on the Festival of the Arts as well. As always, we appreciate subscribes, likes, shares, and comments. Until our next adventure.